Welcome, I am the GamerUnderDevelopment, and this is episode 6 of my blind playthrough of City Skylines by Paradox Interactive. In the last episode, we built some new residential and commercial zones, parks, fire and police stations, and reached our 2600 population benchmark. Most importantly, we finally balanced Noobville's finances and became reliably positive on income. So to start this episode off, I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the new things that we've unlocked. And those things are new areas to purchase, new services like public transportation and level 3 unique buildings, or industry specialization, which is something we haven't played with yet. A bunch of different highway stuff, which is also something I really haven't done much with. And bus depots, advanced wind turbines, and cemeteries. So those are the first things we're going to come play with. Also looking at our power, we are very tight. So maybe placing an advanced wind turbine will help us. Except advanced wind turbines are placed on the water and generate really crappy megawatts. Okay. That seems weird. Oh, okay, there we go. So there's actually wind concentration on the water as well, it looks like. So if we had this piece of land, these advanced wind turbines would be awesome for powering stuff. Or that piece of land where you can cap them out at 20, which is really nice. But I'm not really trying to expand to other parcels of land just yet because we haven't really filled out this one and we just sort of got positive. I don't want to go biting off more than we can chew. So instead I'm going to go ahead and shut that off, and I'm going to actually look at some of these complaints. Not enough educated workers. Okay, so we know why that is. It's because we do not have a high school yet. But I'm getting off track. I'm going to go ahead and look at the bus depot first, because that seems like something fun. It produces noise pollution, so we really don't want it in our residential areas. I'm thinking I'm going to stick it somewhere out here. Actually, you know, we could stick it right here and it would be fine. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I'm not sure how much coverage that gives us. Okay, wait a minute. So we can put bus lines down. Bus stops need to form a circular line. Buses are automatically sent out from a bus depot. Okay, so apparently we just mark bus stops. That's kind of awesome. Let's see what we can do with that. Oh wow, this is actually really cool. Yeah, okay, so we can continue going. Whoa, that just like wrapped around the whole thing. Wow, this is kind of crazy how this works. So I'm going to bring it down there, and then bring it out here. I'm going to try to keep the bus line just on this outside thoroughfare of traffic. I'm not sure how much each of these is costing us either. Doesn't seem to cost anything. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's costing us any money to put these here. And it is increasing happiness sort of everywhere in the area, which is nice. Wow, this is really complex. I have no idea if I'm doing this right, and I'm probably not, so if I screw this up royally and our bus system completely sucks, that's fine. We'll learn from that and we will improve it in the future. That doesn't mean I'm intentionally trying to make it suck, of course. That just means that if it sucks, then it's kind of whatever. We know what's happening. Okay. I wonder if there's a way to undo that. I don't actually want that one there. There we go. Okay. I want one to come out like that, and then I want it to sort of wrap back around. Sure, that works. Okay, I wonder if you can just sort of connect these and they'll work out the route themselves. It kind of seems like that's what's happening. And I'm just going to go ahead and sync that back up. There we go. So I think we have a completed bus line there. Of course, we're not going into these side streets, which is something that we may want to add in. And weirdly enough, we sort of cut off right there. Whoa, I think I just screwed this up royally. Okay, good. Let's unscrew this. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. So you can just sort of drag to add areas. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to drag out different pieces, not that one, and try to make us a reasonable bus line. And I'm not really sure what's going on with that. It looks like everything's fine. Go ahead and drag this line out, and maybe continue it up there. Okay, so I've created some really clumsy bus lines here, it looks like, but we'll see if that actually helps with people's transportation issues. And actually, I wonder if we look at traffic, if that's going to change that up a little bit. Doesn't look like traffic is changing a whole lot because of the buses, although we can watch the buses go out, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the traffic view off and just watch our buses cruise around town for a second, because that's kind of cool. Different buses running different routes. Distance traveled online, 4%. You can modify the routes by clicking on the buses that run them. That's kind of neat. This is, you know, while I look at this, I really have to say, this is one of the features that I really enjoy about this game, is the level of depth that's been gone through. That being said, let's take a look at some of our other new facilities, like the cemetery. Ooh, that's a really good placement for the cemetery. We get a lot of coverage in the residential areas, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that there. We're down to 13k, which is lower than we would like to be. Wow, okay, so we have like no medical coverage whatsoever. And I'm wondering where I want to place this to get like optimal medical coverage. It's weird that when you place it here, like there's no medical coverage for these people at all. And I'm wondering if that's because I built a one-way road there before we expanded out, and that actually needs to be a two-way road. So I'm going to use this nifty little upgrade road tool here to change all of these roads into two-way roads, since this is an internal road and it's not on the outside row like all of the one-ways are. Okay, that looks like that's been changed. Now we'll see if that changes. Yeah, so as you can see, that changes the flow of traffic quite a bit and makes it much, much easier for people to get coverage with these health facilities. Unfortunately, because this outer row is not a two-way, I'm thinking that from now on the way that I'm going to do these is the horizontal, well, not horizontal, but essentially the roads going this way I'm going to make into two-ways, and the roads that are going that way I'll keep as one-ways. The upgrade tool can transform an existing road to another type. Choose the type and click on a piece of road. Oh, interesting. Okay, so like originally that's what we were doing, but I had apparently just messed up when I was expanding. Whoops. Well, that should make things a little bit better as far as coverage goes. No more urns on the mantelpiece. The new hashtag cemetery is open. Alright, so they're really liking the cemeteries, which is weird because my people are apparently morbid. Wow, so look at our coverage rate on this now. That's incredible. With a coverage rate like that, I can't really say no to building that hospital right there and getting coverage for our entire town. What I am gonna do though is check our budgets and make sure that nothing is above 100. Okay. And we still have this complaint to deal with. They definitely want a high school. Unfortunately, high schools are rather spendy, and we don't have the money just yet, because that 50k did not go nearly as far as I anticipated it would. That's okay though, because we're still positive, so we just sort of have to wait for things to level out and give us the money to make that. Except for our money is going down. I'm going to take another look at our finances and try to figure out why our money is going down. It probably has something to do with the fact that we just added a budget in for public transportation. I'm curious about how you tell whether that budget needs to be adjusted, though. Okay, so the bus is active, 0 citizens per week, 0 tourists per week. Why is that? Have we not passed a week yet, or are the buses just not doing anything? That is incredibly weird. I mean, we can see the buses moving, like they're active, they're going, but... Oh, okay, here we go. Now we're starting to see citizens per week riding the bus. Wow, and all these residential areas are upgrading like crazy right now. I don't know if that's because of the healthcare, or if it's because of the bus system, but either way, that's a good thing. Okay, and now we're... Oh, well, we are gaining, and we're losing, and... Yeah, we're losing. Nope, we're gaining. This game is so back and forth on finances. I'm guessing that's fairly realistic to city management, but at the same time, it's kind of frustrating at times. Our vacations was extended. Can someone water our plants? Once again, we see the need for more educated employees. Our finances are fairly stabilized. We're not really losing money, while we are decreasing in the amount of income we're generating. They're complaining about cornfields again. We get it. You guys hate the environment, except for when I build wind turbines and you get happy. I have never met such a confused group of hippies in my entire life. Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful sunrise. Hashtag paradise on Earth. You see what I mean? These people are so fickle. Way to go, Mayor. Yellow cornfields are a much better sight than dirty factories. Okay, so half of our citizens like the fact that we focused on this sort of... I can't remember the... agriculture specialization. Some people very much like that, others do not. And I'm still not sure how we upgrade this. There are no residents in this district. Good, there shouldn't be. It's an industrial district. Why would there be residents in it? Apartment rent is rising. I'm guessing that is a subtle complaint. Whoa, okay, we're back in way positive, which is great. That's really where we want to be. Wow, look at our buses traffic jamming the crap out of everything. That's legit. Well, not in a good way, but that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. Oh, look at that traffic jam. I'm guessing it's because there's too many bus lines running or something. I wonder if there's an easy way to manage that. I can relocate, I can open the budget palette or panel, but there doesn't seem to be a super easy way to manage that. I mean, obviously I can come down here and look at these sorts of lines. And try to figure out why we have this massive problem here. Well, for one, we've got that sort of random stop. I think in the areas where we have like these overlapping lines, it's a problem. At least that seems to make the most sense. I don't know, so I got rid of that extra overlapping stop. Let's see if things clear up a little bit now that that's been done. It may just be that the system takes a second to sort of work itself out a little bit too. Because it's not like we can plan out like the delays on these. Although I guess we do plan on the vicinity of the stops. Yeah, see, I don't think we need any of these places where they're sort of overlapping. Could be bad, I think. I don't think we need 4 stops right there. I think we can get away with like 3 in that area. And then we'll drag a route up there like that, so that we can disperse some of that traffic across these 2 sides. That may end up working a little bit better for us. And we're going to go ahead and finish that loop. Okay, so now we have buses running everywhere, we are profitable, we have people moving in, everything is on the up and up. Which is awesome, that's exactly where we want to be. So I think that what I'm going to do is try to get us to 24K and build us a high school. And I think we'll call it an episode after that. Well, after we watch the high school fill these needs and hopefully get some of these abandoned commercial zones filled up. We are almost there. Come on, keep ticking. Grow the city. Yes, I know I need to grow the city. We have a huge demand for residential, but the problem is every time we dive in and start building more residential, we end up under the gun financially, and it just doesn't work out very well. So before we go diving into building more residential zones, I want to go ahead and get the school built so that we can upgrade those commercial zones and get a little more finances from that. Okay, so if we place it here, we get pretty good coverage now that we have our 2-way roads. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, I think. Ooh, I don't want to destroy the power lines there. Actually, I don't think it'll matter. Yeah, I'm just going to put it there. So we now have a high school. Wait a minute. We now have 2 high schools? We already had high school. This lets you know how good I am at managing a city. I was unaware that we already had a high school. That being said, we still needed another one because they were complaining about education. Let's take a look at where our education levels are actually at, though. 50% of our people are still uneducated, which is somewhat disappointing because we have such a great capacity for education in our city now. Oh, okay, so I think this is the bigger issue. Now we have full coverage with our high schools, but we don't have very good coverage with our elementary schools. And, you know, elementary school is kind of necessary for you to succeed in high school, so we kind of botched that up. Or I kind of botched that up, I'm not blaming you guys. But it's okay, because we will learn from this mistake, we'll place a couple more schools down, we'll make everything work. In fact, as soon as we get up to 10K, I'm going to drop another one of these schools, and then I think we'll call it an episode. We're getting there pretty quickly. In the meantime, I'm just going to kind of flip through these things. We obviously have a deficit here. Medical seems good. Fire seems pretty bad, actually. We're covered out there, but we're not covered out here. Fire's another one of these things that we need to build to cover this sort of expanding area, and we have power issues. Of course we have power issues. Wind turbines are the awesomest. Alright, I'm going to work on placing one of these slightly further away from the commercial zoning, so maybe right up here, because it occurs to me that all this noise pollution is not going to help our commercial zone succeed. Unfortunately, that is a minor setback to our buying another school. It is minor, though, it's not a huge thing. In fact, if I really wanted to, and because I'm an evil tax master like this, I'm going to go ahead and bump our taxes up to 30% again, just for a little bit. Just for long enough to get us to that school quickly. Actually, I think I'll do that to get us to the school and a couple fire stations if I can. So people are starting to get angry, let's make them madder. If they're not mad at you, you're not doing it right. I feel like I am one of my friends who plays Tropico and likes to build giant slums at this moment, but that's okay. I'm going to drop these back down to about 13. I'm actually going to creep them up to 14 and see if we can sort of leave them there. I feel like constantly creeping this tax rate up is the only way to really stay profitable. And I don't think we're ever really going to reach the point where, like, money is no object. Like, I don't see that being something that happens for us. Okay, so if we build this here, not a lot of coverage. Not a lot of coverage there. Pretty decent coverage here. Man, elementary schools are just very, very limited. Their coverage is not good. So I'm really trying to just see where I can get the most coverage out of. I guess down here we get this entire band, and up here we get not a whole lot. Right here we get about half of both of those bands though, so I think I'm going to place that there. And then I may end up putting another one in over here somewhere. Maybe in this general area. Let's see how that ends up working out. Yeah, we need one on this side for, you know, all intents and purposes. These people are being completely ignored education-wise, and that's not okay. So I'm going to put one up there. And we could probably use one right down here to sort of sew up the education gap. Excellent. Oh, why are people... Wow, I didn't pay attention to our taxes and people are getting really pissed and leaving in mass. That's not a good thing. I'm going to drop us back down to 13. I did not think people would leave in mass over 1% taxes. But apparently that is a thing. We still got some people angry about taxes. I'm not entirely sure why, because we've already had the tax rate at 13 for a while and been fine. It might just be that that's taking a while to fall off, or maybe they don't feel that the tax rate is acceptable to them. I'm going to go ahead and try bringing them down to about 12%. As you can see, our money is rapidly declining though, which is not something that is encouraging to the idea of providing education. Because right now it just seems like it was a cash sink. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and call the episode there. However, we did manage to get our education way up. As you can see, our uneducated percentage is going down by the second, and we now actually have 1% highly educated people. If you enjoyed the video, please like. If you want to know when the next one is going to go up, please subscribe. Well, the next one's going to go up next Monday, but if you want to be notified when the next one goes up, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and please game responsibly.